Before I dive into this video, let me clear something up. I'm not building a YouTube channel. I'm building my exit plan. Those are two completely different things. I'm not trying to become famous. I'm trying to become free, just like you. And I think a lot more people understand that feeling than they'd like to admit. When you're younger, you think freedom comes from climbing the corporate ladder. You work harder, you get promoted, make a little more money, maybe buy a nicer car, a bigger house, take a slightly better vacation every couple of years, and you tell yourself you're making progress. Then one day you wake up, look in the mirror, and realize you spent decades renting out the best hours of your life. Not because anyone forced you to, because you genuinely thought that's just how life worked. I know I did. For 30 years I worked in IT. Before that I spent time in special forces. Two completely different worlds with one thing in common. You trade your time for someone else's mission. In the military that makes sense. In your 20s it even makes sense. But somewhere along the way I stopped asking a very simple question. What mission am I actually working toward? Because if the answer is just surviving until Friday, that's not much of a mission. I don't hate work. That's important. I don't wake up angry. I'm not one of those people making videos telling everyone to quit their jobs tomorrow and go live in a van beside a river. I've got bills. I've got responsibilities. I've got payments that, strangely enough, refuse to accept inspirational quotes as payment. Reality still exists, so yes, I'm still working. Probably longer than I'd like. And honestly, that's part of the reason I'm making these videos. Because I think there's a dangerous myth on the internet. It goes something like this. I quit my job, started a YouTube channel, and 6 months later I was making six figures. Fantastic. I'm happy for you. I also think you're about as credible as someone who won the lottery and now teaches financial planning. For most people, this takes time. Years, not weeks, not months, but years. That's actually good news, because it removes the pressure. I'm not racing anyone. I'm replacing something. That's a huge difference. I'm not trying to replace my job next month. I'm trying to replace the need for my job eventually. That's a much more realistic goal. Every video I upload is another brick in that wall. Some bricks won't matter. Some videos will disappear into the YouTube abyss and get maybe 17 views. Half of those will probably be me checking if the thumbnail looks okay. And that's fine. Because every video teaches me something. How to tell a better story, how to edit faster, how to write better, how to connect with people, how to communicate ideas that have been bouncing around in my head for years. That's valuable whether YouTube pays me tomorrow or not. People often ask why I document the process instead of waiting until I've, made it. Simple, because I don't want to pretend. I don't want to sell certainty when I'm still figuring things out myself. I'd rather document the climb than the fake view from the top. Besides, I think that's where the interesting part actually is anyways. The internet has enough winner stories. What it doesn't have enough of is honest progress, the awkward middle, the years where nothing spectacular happens, the period where you're building something after work while everyone else is watching television. That's the part nobody films. But that's where almost everything worthwhile actually gets built. The truth is, most people give up right before consistency starts paying them back. Not because they lack talent, because they underestimate how long the game really is. We've been conditioned by the internet to expect immediate feedback. Push a button, get a result, order something, it arrives tomorrow, post something online, expect 1,000 views by dinner. Real life doesn't work like that. Building something meaningful rarely does. Imagine planting an oak tree. You don't dig it up every weekend to see if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, you protect it, you let time do its thing. This channel is my oak tree. Maybe yours is something completely different. Maybe it's woodworking or writing, photography, teaching, I don't know. Whatever it is, it probably deserves more patience than you're currently giving it. One of the biggest changes I've made is redefining what success actually looks like to me. Years ago, success meant escaping work entirely. Now, not really. Success for me means options. Success is waking up because I choose to. Success is deciding who I work with. Success is being able to say no whenever I like. Now, that's freedom. Money matters. Of course it does. Anyone telling you money doesn't matter usually has enough of it. But money isn't the destination, it's the leverage. It's the tool that lets you buy back your own time. Because time is the one thing your employer can't give back after you've spent it. I've also stopped comparing myself to people who appear successful online. Comparison is a funny thing. You compare your ordinary Tuesday to someone else's highlight reel. You compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. It's a rigged game. The only comparison that really matters is whether I'm moving forward compared to 6 months ago. Am I learning? Am I creating? Am I becoming more independent? Am I building assets instead of just collecting paychecks? If the answer is yes, then I'm winning, even if no one else notices it. And here's something that I've realized recently that surprised me. Building this channel isn't just about eventually leaving my job. It's changing how I experience the job I already have. When your paycheck stops being your only possible future, well, work changes. The pressure changes. The fear changes. You stop treating your employer like they're the only source of oxygen in a room. They're simply funding the runway while you build the aircraft. That's a healthier relationship for everyone involved. I'm not at war with my employer. I'm just no longer expecting them to provide everything my life needs. That's too much responsibility to place on any company. Companies change. Markets change. Management changes. Priorities change. If your entire future depends on someone else's quarterly earnings report, that's a fragile position to be in. I'd rather slowly build something that belongs to me, even if it grows painfully slow, because every subscriber, every video, every skill, and every lesson, that's equity to me. Not financial equity, life equity. Skills nobody can lay off. Experience nobody can outsource. Confidence nobody can take away. Maybe this channel succeeds. Maybe it evolves into something, I don't know, completely different. Maybe it opens doors I can't even see yet. Honestly, I don't know. And strangely enough, I'm okay with that. Because the goal was never just YouTube. The goal was, and still is, autonomy. YouTube just happens to be the vehicle I'm driving right now. If another opportunity appears along the way, I'll take that exit instead. And I'll tell you about it here. The destination hasn't changed. Only the route might. I don't know. So if you're watching this while you're sitting in a cubicle or on a lunch break, or after another day where you wondered if this is really all there is, you're not alone. You don't have to quit tomorrow. You don't need to burn everything down. You don't need permission. You just need to start building something that belongs to you. 1 hour today, another hour tomorrow. Rinse, lather, repeat. A few years from now, those hours become something substantial. Not overnight, but over time. That's how exits are built. Quietly, patiently, and one brick at a time. I'm not building a YouTube channel. I'm building my exit plan. And maybe it's time you started to build yours too. As always, this has been Over 40 with Duff. If you've enjoyed today's video, please like, follow, and share, and better yet, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. So until next time, keep asking yourself, if not now, when?